Hi, everyone.
Hey
Welcome.
everybody. So we are Women in Games International. I'm Joni and I'm the CEO.
Hey, and I'm Jackie. I'm the Director of Community Service.
And I'm Lynn. I am the Director of Social Media.
So we are a global organization based in Los Angeles, California, and our mission is to cultivate resources to advance economic equality and diversity in the video games industry. So we want to come here tonight and talk to you guys and have some fun, and we'll be making some drinks at one point. So stick around and have some fun with us. So Women in Games International was officially established in 2005 as a 501c organization. So we are a nonprofit. But WIGI was originally a co-ed annual conference that focused on creating a safe and inclusive space for women in the video game industry. So we gave the space to gather and learn and network while being recognized for their incredible impact in the industry. So WIGI is made up of both female and male professionals, and we promote diversity and inclusion throughout the games industry. So everything from development, publishing, media, education, just across all workplaces. And it's really based on this fundamental belief that increased equality and camaraderie among genders can make global impacts for superior products, more consumer enjoyment, and a stronger gaming industry overall. So basically everything that Thanksgaming is promoting. Hey.
Yay. Thank you, Thanksgaming, for having us on. And Robert Manuel, shout out to you.
Thanks.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah, that's crazy
Okay.
that we've been around for 15 years. I mean, we haven't been here for 15 years, but it's an organization that's seen multiple generations and an evolving landscape, particularly for women in games.
Absolutely. And underrepresented gamers as a whole.
And Joni, how long have you been in the nonprofit space?
So I've been in nonprofits for about 5-6 years now.
So you've also seen things change, and especially with what's going on now with quarantine and the needs changing. Yeah.
Yeah, so WIGI really was historically in-person networking events to create that, safe, foster the space of fun and networking. But COVID sucks. So
Who knew?
We were not prepared.
Yeah.
But we are launching our initiatives to virtually offer new programs and workshops, as well as access to our unbelievable community. So Jackie, you want to kick us off to talk about how representing our community is really working with our individuals that we're serving?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, I will say yes, COVID sucks. I think that is something that is indisputable and that we can all agree on. However, I do think that it's offered us as an organization the space and the silence to be able to reflect on not only where we started and where we've been, but where we can go and how we can serve the needs of our communities in this time. And it's also really allowed us an opportunity to deconstruct what it means to help women. And I think one example is a program that the three of us have been talking about, in addition to some awesome women who aren't here right now, is the micro mentorship program. So we're working on resurrecting these tried and true programs that you can find in any nonprofit space. But the thing that we're really focused on now and that we've started to address as a more modern organization is how we can make these programs actionable and goal-driven. And things like the micro mentorship program, it's not just, hey, here's an expert in the field, and hey, here's someone who wants to learn, put them in a jar and hope things turn out correctly. What we're really doing, and what I really love about Joni, the direction that you're taking us, is what are the modules that we can create? What are the goals for both the mentee and the mentor? And how can we make it a 30-day program and something that they can participate in with a goal every week, as opposed to just sit there and talk and figure out what you want. And I think the space and the silence that COVID also afforded us was the opportunity to really ask, what is the issue with advancing in the career industry, not just for women, but for everyone. But if we can talk about it from a female perspective, maybe we can lift as we climb, as I learned from Joni. And for me, one of those experiences is you don't have the experience to advance in your career. You can't get from point A to point B, or even cross industries. Let's say you work in the tech field and you want to get into gaming, and they say, we loved your interview, but you just don't got it, kid. And you're like, how do I get it? What is it?
It's the quintessential, how do you get experience without having experience, you know?
Right. And I think that the thing that we've kind of theoretically figured out is we can offer that exhibition, and we can be kind of like an executive producer to projects, whether it be launching game jams, whether it be self-contained projects that you can use, that we can say, hey, you in North Carolina, our chapter head in North Carolina, we know that you want to get more experience as a coder or a programmer. Let us help you find those fellow resources in your area, and we can uplift you. We can show you these programs. We can partner you with sponsorship dollars and get these projects either fail fast and learn that way and move on and try again, or do it great the first time with WIGI's help. And I think that's something that really differentiates us, and the way that we can really serve our communities beyond just, we offer these programs, come hang out and then get out of here. It's come hang out, create something, put it in your portfolio, and go to your next interview and be like, actually, I do have that experience. That's the thing that I'm really loving about the direction that we're moving. But another program that so a lot of this stuff we're talking about is theoretical, obviously. It's like, these are our big highfalutin plans. But one thing that we're really sinking our teeth into now, the three of us specifically, is a DLC program. So we're going to be launching a stream that's going to be like a season of streams. So it's 6 episodes, 1 a week, where we're going to have a speaker series with experts in their field to come talk. And I can see that the chat is blowing up. What is DLC? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
It's drinks, learning, and community. So you got your community. That's all of us sitting in a room together. It's not like a mystery. Learning, which is bringing these experts in to talk about specific conditions. What is going on with quarantine right now? How do you work remotely? How do you build these skills, cultivate? And then drinks. Perhaps this is starting to demystify why Lynn is standing in front of her gorgeous bar in her basement.
I like how you say gorgeous, and actually it's like plywood that's like barely keeping these bottles up. But you know, these $10 curtains from Amazon really took it to the next level. So thank you.
They're crushed velvet, right?
Sure. Yes,
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Yeah. So what Robert Manuel and Gordon Bellamy brought us here to do today was give you a sneak peek of what our DLC series will look like. We're going to launch that in the spring, and that'll be how we start to show you like how you can join in on these programs, how you can benefit from these programs. But Lynn's going to tell you a little bit give you a sneak peek of what the drinks part of it looks like, as well as talk to you about our social campaign and how you can continue to track what WIGI's been doing after building off of 15 years of doing stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm Lynn. I run social media for WIGI. And I don't know about you guys, but I always kind of do a better job about talking with their point made about talking about things with a drink in my hand. So let's do the drink first. I'll walk you guys through it. I know Joni said she might follow along. If not, no big deal. We're going to whiz through this and we'll talk a little bit more about DLC. So this drink is called the Dorian. It is a Dragon Age cocktail. I chose it because Dorian was a gay character in Dragon Age Inquisitions. And I thought it was really cute how, you know, he would just kind of not be interested in you if you didn't have the right credentials, so to speak. So start off with a glass. Any glass will do, really. Honestly, we're not going to do this down to the science. This is the kind of drink that you're going to drink on a Friday night with some friends, hanging around, playing some games, you know. If you have a measure, so you're going to do 1 ounce of Kraken. This Joni is showing off here.
Hey.
Yes. So
1 ounce. Have at it. Have at it.
In the bottom of your glass there.
All right.
And then we're going to do 1/2 ounce of raspberry liqueur. So you can use Like Chambord is a really good one. I like St. George because it's a little bit more raspberry forward, a little bit less of the sugar content, but you do you, boo, and do whatever you like. So we're gonna do a half an ounce of that in the
That's
bottom of
an
this.
interesting phrase, raspberry forward. I like that.
I guess like I forget sometimes. I don't really speak corporate, but I speak drink. So like a lot of the, like, oh, we're gonna add, one part this, and people are like, how big is the part? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, just one part, and then same amount of the other one. So then we're gonna do a lime. I just took some lime wedges, squeezed 2 limes in there. Drop them in if you want, or you can use your fancy schmancy lime juice like what Joni has. And then we're gonna add some ice. And top it all off with ginger beer. This is the only ginger beer I could find at the grocery store. This one is Gosling's. I prefer Cock and Bull, but I couldn't find it anywhere. That one tends to be more ginger forward, but use what you got. Stir it with your reusable plastic straw as not to pollute the environment, and sip and enjoy.
I literally had the whiskey and then I could stir. And I also have this
Whiskey and stir
whipped
is
cream.
a really good cocktail. I'm never gonna fault somebody for eating glass cocktail. So,
Thank
all
you.
right, so there you have it. This is our Dorian. So hope you guys enjoy it. If you would like the ingredients, we can absolutely post them in the chat later. But for now, I just want to talk a little bit about DLC and some of our social initiatives. So if you're one of the people who's been following WIGI on social, on Twitter, on Facebook, maybe even on LinkedIn for a while, you may have noticed we've been kind of quiet for a little bit, and that was intentional. We definitely wanted to step back and think about the direction that we were taking WIGI and some of the things that we were doing before we just started posting out into the Twitterverse and going like, hey guys, what's going on? So we've started to kind of reintroduce ourselves very slowly. We put out some teaser posts, and we yesterday got some really good feedback from the Small Business Saturday. We talked about some local game devs and some of the projects that they're working on. And really what I want you guys to take away from some of the work that we're doing is that WIGI is a platform for underrepresented people, underrepresented genders, underrepresented game devs. And we want to be your voice. We want to network with you, not just in the programs that we're doing like DLC, but also in the real community that we want to create and share with you. So if you're out there and you're like, you know what, I've got this really cool thing that I want to work on, and I want to have my voice amplified and heard out there, talk to us, send us a DM. We'd love to hear from you. We want to know what you're working on, and we want to be part of that conversation. So that's the direction that we're currently going with some of our social. We are rebuilding and reformulating our community, and we're very, very excited because so far the response has been pretty great, and that feels good. So
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Based on what you're saying. So before this stream, Abby and Trinidad, they were talking about the concept, or what are the 3 things that you would need to be for someone to be your friend? Like, what are the 3 traits you're looking for? If someone were to say, I want to be your friend, you'd be like, okay, well, do you have these 3 things? So I was thinking about what are the 3 things we look for from our community members. I can tell you the 3 I came up with. I don't know if there's...
You're the one asking a question. I feel very on the spot right now, Jackie, but I can pretend.
You like that? You like that? Okay. So, well, just tell me if these resonate with you. Like,
Absolutely.
It'll be a litmus test. And Joni, you as well, of course. So these are the 3 things that I feel like I love about our staff. So I feel like we're risk takers. We're down to try things that haven't been tried before. We have a sense of humor, which I really appreciate. That's how we get through things together. And I feel like we're all interested in being low drama. Like we're and I think that's something that you need more of. Like, we need more examples of female friendship. We need more examples of what it means to cooperate as women. And I think that's something you don't get a lot of examples of. So those are my three things: low drama, risk takers, and a sense of humor. So thank you, Abby and Trinidad, for that excellent question, because I feel like that's something I'm going to take with me wherever I
That's
go.
really cool. Yeah.
Can I add driven to that? And I think that kind of goes with one of your points, maybe as like an offshoot, but one of the reasons that I was really inspired to join this organization was because immediately this group of women struck me as people who don't just sit idly by and go, okay, well, I guess we'll get to that next month. Like, Joni really took the reins and was like, hey, I'm going to step up and I'm going to, I don't know, should I announce it? Should I say what? Joni has taken on our new CEO position. So she's really inspired me personally to take a more active role in this organization and reach out and really drive this forward. So yeah, driven is one of those things that I would say about us. And yeah, I think we'd look for that in our community also. Like, you don't want the kinds of people who are gonna sleep on it. Like, and don't get me wrong, naps are great, but you absolutely want people in your community that are just as passionate about the same things that you are. And I think this is that kind of organization.
You earn the naps.
I also think a high level of awkwardness is really important to me, to try and match mine, because I have a superpower. I can make any conversation, situation, encounter just incredibly awkward like that.
You've been doing a really good job so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, of holding that back.
Don't worry. I will always join you on that one. Like, put my foot in my mouth every dang time. It doesn't matter. So
I have another.
Go ahead.
Oh goodness, we're all talking. Okay, I think one thing too is that we really want to focus on impact at this time. So what is the most impactful thing that we can do? How can we really drive that change? And right now is such a really great time to get involved with WIGI, because we are pivoting and we are redefining so many things, everything from our brand to our business model to our program modeling to we're going to offer workshops and short-term programs and long-term programs and the power leveling series of DLC like Jackie was talking about. And so if you have any areas that you're like, oh, I really would love support in this way, or I have this idea to do this initiative, please, like Lynn was saying, reach out, DM us. You can email us at info@getwigi.com, and we're happy to start a conversation. We love partnerships and collaborations and lift as you climb. So
yeah, and if there's anyone that has a question in chat right now about what they can do to advance their careers, we're here to offer any advice, but we are hoping to formalize that more in programs and things that can really dig in deep. But I think those are good. And I wrote them down to bring them to our next powwow, because I think those are the kind of things that if we know that we're trying to attract that, then that's what we can put out there. I have another question.
Yes.
I have two questions. I'm full of questions. So one question I have for both of you is, so I'm personally really excited about building chapters and getting more in territories where maybe there aren't thriving industries, but people that are interested in getting into the game community. I want to know how I can help them, how I can help them find remote opportunities, how they can find like-minded people. What are you both excited about? What do you want to build towards?
Also, first off, like, yeah, as somebody who lives in Nowhereville, Wisconsin, no offense to Milwaukee, but it is not where the games industry is very prominent. Yeah, I'm very excited about that too. Like, let's go, Jackie. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, can we have a chapter here now, please? Like,
sure. Priority. Yeah. First one.
Yes. Please don't make me head of it. I've got enough projects. But anyway,
what about being driven?
That sure. Sorry, I didn't want to take Joni's platform away if you wanted to talk about what you were excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited about the overall direction that we're heading. I mean, we're looking at expanding into more than just networking events. We have, these very substantial programs and workshops and community building streams. But we are also looking at really making an impact rather than just offering networking opportunities, really showing you how to network and what to do when you're networking, talking about how to get ahead in resume writing and negotiations and offers and interview tips and negotiating your salary and just how to speak on a professional level. I think there's a lot of focus on really getting that opportunity in front of people who otherwise wouldn't have it, but also people who maybe otherwise couldn't afford it either. So another great initiative that we're looking at launching is the scholarship program. And I'm so excited to get people who couldn't otherwise afford to get to a conference. We are going to help them get to a conference. And again, it'll look very different with COVID if it's, you know, virtual versus in person, but eventually the goal is to have this opportunity to get to a conference in person, including, you know, the flight, the hotel, the lodging, the per diem for food. And I'm looking to work with another nonprofit that will give you tips and tricks on how to dress and present yourself and make sure that you are, you know, the best you that you want to be. And I think that's one of the things that I'm most excited about.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because like I don't want to spoil anything too much, but that is a project that I'm very excited about. That, you know, I'm not really part of that specific project, more in the line of DLC and the social media side of things, but to be able to provide that to somebody who wouldn't have that experience. I mean, who doesn't love conventions? And I know all of us have walked away from one with a stack of business cards and really meaningful relationships that have branched off into, you know, opening doors and things like that. I think this is such a wonderful thing that we're able to provide and move forward with, and that will make a huge difference in our community. So I'm very much looking forward to that also. Also, I mean, the DLC thing and teaching people how to make drinks and also networking skills, that's me.
So in talking about digital conferences and networking in the digital age, Lynn, I know you've been really active in games industry gathering and gig. What do you think is going well there? What do you think could be improved? Do you think that you're truly networking there, or what is missing? How can we bridge that gap from what we experience in person?
Oh my God, Guy is going to love that we just turned this into an infomercial for Games Industry Gathering, or games.industrygathering.com.
You're welcome.
So sign up if you are part of the, so what Gig is it's a group of people who meet every Friday night in a Zoom call for the purpose of networking. And it started kind of as like a side project of just wanting to be able to network with those same people that were going to hotel bars and having these conversations that sometimes the best ideas come from those after convention hotel bar networking, where you're scribbling down ideas on a napkin, and then all of a sudden you've got this full-fledged worked out plan. And how do we recreate that in a virtual environment? So Gig is now about 2,000 people, I believe. It's also a Discord with different rooms available for different resources. So if you're in marketing or game dev, or, you know, in coding or whatever, you have your own resources of people who are like-minded, who are facing the same challenges that you do. So it has been monumental to me in being able to speak one-on-one in these small rooms with people. I don't really know that I'm in a position to say what it needs to improve on, because I'm not an active, like I'm just a member. I just show up and I do the thing. But yeah, it's been great. And actually in that is part of what I talked to Joni about when I was brought on for shaping DLC was, great, how are we going to be able to do this in a way that's authentic to our members? They're going to tune into DLC and they're going to watch us have a conversation with some people over some drinks. Maybe we're going to talk about this week, we're going to talk about how to, you know, position yourself in a better way to get in the door or something like that. But at the end of the day, you're watching something through a screen. How do we make this authentic and build this community through that? And so that conversation has branched off into some different ways that we want to build that community. And I think we're still working on some of those, but yeah, I would say that we've been heavily influenced by Gig in some of those prerogatives. So
So do you feel like you're experiencing a true networking moment when you go to a digital? That's awesome.
I feel like when I meet these people in person, they're either going to be much taller or shorter than I expect them to be, but there are going to be so many dang hugs. Like, it's just going to be like constant tears of like, oh my God. Like, you don't spend every Friday night with these same people and then be like, oh, hey, sup?
So, whatever, we go way back.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing to talk about, how we're building these digital experiences that have true emotional resonance.
Yes.
And that we can use WIGI as a platform for exactly that. Like, you don't have to stop advancing your career. And the games industry is thriving despite what's going on right now with COVID. So I think that we have every opportunity to help people advance. And I'm really excited to get started. And I think you can look forward to some, and Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like early Q1, like January, February, we're going to start really rocking and rolling with our announcements and plans.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So in January, we're going to focus a little bit on ourselves, like a little self-reflection and a little bit of like, hey, what's WIGI doing? What are our plans or our initiatives? Not to say that we're not also going to be using our platform to amplify others' voices, but we want to let you guys know what we've been working on. And I know that some of this call today has been a little bit like, we're working on some initiatives that we can't quite tell you about, and just trust us, stick with us. We've got some really cool stuff that we're going to roll out. And so the first month we're going to do that. The second month we're going to partner, and every month thereafter with a different organization that we're going to highlight. And we're going to take the time to really make sure that that organization is represented on our platform. And so we've got a director of partnerships. So if you want to reach out, we are happy to network with you and provide those opportunities for you.
Yeah, all about signal boosting.
Yes.
Hence gig.
My job is awesome. I get to just make everyone else look good.
What it's all about. And so you can follow us on any of our socials, getwiggy.com. Joni, I don't know if you have any lingering thoughts that you want to share. I do have a quote that I like, but
Oh, okay, go for it. What do you got?
Have either of you seen Fleabag?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, first of all, watch Fleabag.
Okay.
But there's a scene in an episode where they're running an awards ceremony for women in business, and the main character runs into the winner of the award in the lobby afterward and at the bar, and she's like, oh, like, I guess congratulations on your award. And she says, she talks about winning an award as a woman in business as infantilizing, and that it's ghettoizing, and it's a subsection of success. And that's resonated with me as what I have really appreciated about WIGI, as like, it's about bringing us into and normalizing women in the games industry. It's not about like, women are over here and then everyone else over here. It's about bringing everyone together. And that's
Absolutely. The camaraderie, I think, is one of our biggest things, and having allies, regardless of who those allies are absolutely, I agree with them.
Don't put me on a pedestal because I am a woman, but definitely recognize the achievements that I have made while I'm here.
Yeah, we put you on a pedestal for your fashion, for your humor, for your amazing personality. Anyway, thank you to Rob and Gordon and Thanksgaming for having us on here. This has been really fun.
This has been great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.